YouTube scene.
Are we live?
Are we?
I think we are.
Nice.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, there
Are
it
we
is.
live?
It says so. Yes.
Okay. Somebody say hi if we're live. I haven't done that yet. So,
Acknowledge this is working, please.
yes. Dun, dun, dun. Well, I don't think we're live then. Hey! How are you guys?
Hey.
I wasn't sure if I was live.
Okay.
How are you guys doing? Uh,
Hello.
Hello. Wow, so many people. I expected it to be just me and Greg sitting here
Typical
talking.
Wednesday.
Thanks. Oh, it's a train. You know, there's a train that passes behind Greg's house.
Yeah. It was really cool. Like 6 years ago, when my son was young and like Thomas the Tank Engine. Now it's just a huge pain in the ass. I'll mute it.
All right. So let me explain a little bit what we're trying to do here. As you guys know, we've been launching the campaign for our new game Kinshft on Kickstarter, and thanks for you guys who contributed yet or spread the word or talk to your friends and stuff like that. We're very grateful. But you know, part of our thing, part of the reason why we started What If, that we wanted to do things in a different way. We wanted to do game development in our own way. So I really wanted to have this policy of open studio almost, and invite people that contribute and they're engaged in our project to come and see the sausage being made. You know, like even if it's warts and all and it's broken and it's early. So that's the first trial of this. You know, we all work remotely, so this is our studio. This is my studio. This is Greg's studio. And more people are going to join us. The idea is to do this in a regular basis and see if people enjoy and change the format and show different things. And you guys like feel completely free to interject, ask questions. We'll be watching the message board, and we'll try to keep this very casual, like you guys are sitting in the studio with us. There's a couple of things that I really wanted to do that I started to work on recently. One is doing a live concept for a character that I've been doing some research in the last couple of days. Greg has some stuff to show too. We've been doing like a pre-production version of the game. Even before the campaign is done, we already started working on something. We're testing some of the assumptions that we have. Is this fun? Not fun? Now is the time to try different things and see what really works. Guys, have any initial questions or how this is gonna work, or shall we just start? Cool. Yeah, I expect you guys to participate, by the way. Otherwise, it would be just me and Greg working here and do stuff. So I really want to answer all your questions, or if you want to talk about anything else, we'll do our best to talk about it. I'll show you what I'm working on right now. I just started like 5 minutes ago. I was talking to Greg. Let me just show. This is a brief that I'm using for a new character. Is a class of characters called Succubines. If you know what a succubus is a female demon that, you know, from different mythologies actually, that enter the dreams of like unsuspected men and seduce them. I kind of wanted to mix that with the idea of concubines. So, you know, obviously succubus and concubines. So I started looking into what I wanted to do, and every character that we do, and every concept, every location, we have to think, in 3 different ages, such as the nature of the game. Uh, so every time I create something, and we have a doc with a bunch of characters, bunch of locations, bunch of stuff, um, we try to like 3 columns. Where are they in the primordial age? Do they still exist 1,000 years later and 10,000 years later? If they do exist, do they transform into something else? So the succubines and their, is that madams or madams? I don't know. I still don't know. Please answer in the message. The person that takes care of a brothel is a madam or is a madam or is it both? I don't know.
I think it's a
Anyway,
madam. No, I forgot.
yeah. So the idea is to have we have this place called the Den of Dreams. Is a mix between a brothel and an opium den. If you like know of the Victorian opium dens, where people went to like basements to like take opium, and they would just be like there, like pretty devastated by the drugs. This is a place where you go to meet the succubines, and the people that run this place, they are like, I'm calling them spider madams now, like just as a joke, but I don't know, maybe the name will stick. Um, they are the spider women that sit at the top and nobody sees them, but they always weaving this like dream web, and the dream web comes down to where the clients are, and they get woven into this dream catchers. And if you touch the dream catchers, you get sent into a dream state where you meet the succubines, the seductive uh, demon women that can make all your pleasures come true in your dreams. So that's what they are in the primordial age. Hi, TJ.
It's huge.
Is
Oh, thank you, Jay.
He's a good friend and great game designer. We worked together at Caban since the beginning. So and then we moved to the dystopian age. What happened to them? The Den of Dreams evolved into something a bit more industrial because they're serving machines now. What machines? The Blade Runner. What machines dream? Do they dream of electric boogaloo? Uh, and so they transform into something different. They still like a den of pleasure, but for robots. So we want to do something a bit different for there. And then the chimeric age. The chimeric age is a place where imagination, dreams, fantasy blended with reality. So the idea there is that the succubines kind of got free from their shackles, and they're walking the land in the real world, and they're really really dangerous because if you touch them, they can send you into a nightmare and never come back. So that's the idea. And I've been trying to I just started like right now. As you can see, some of the ideas I had, like it was to create something that is inspired a little bit by Chinese spinsters and madams and stuff like that. I don't know about the spider legs. I'm just trying right now because I want to have like the idea that they themselves are looms, and they keep weaving this thing, um, and sending to the bottom of the thing. So they're sitting there. One of the images I imagined, like it was Lady Miyako from Akira, the psychic Japanese lady that the leader of a cult. So I'm trying to mix a little bit of the influence in there, but also some modern stuff like um, Florence and the Machine and some stuff like that. So I like to put a bunch of different influences in the concept and see what comes out of the blender. Right, I did a lot of that at Marvel. So we'll try to do that here. And then the hair, the crazy puffy hair, I'm actually getting inspiration from the back of the spider. Um, we'll see. Maybe shouldn't be that monstrous. Maybe it should be a little more like an old lady. But let's start with the spider face.
It's looking good. I like it.
Yeah.
We also have really cool. Now we now have a our first crafting material, which is cool. We have a spider silk from the succubine. Succubine silk. There you go.
Oh yeah.
You have to
That's a
harvest
good idea.
succubine silk, and it's kind of it's toxic or hallucinogenic.
You can't touch it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Writing that one down.
Yeah. So I'll be drawing this through the night. So do you wanna what do you wanna do, Greg? You wanna show some scenes?
We could,
We could.
but just like actually play them or just show the scenes themselves.
No, if you wanna play what you have, I don't know.
We can talk about our Kickstarter, definitely.
Oh yeah, we can. Do you want to talk about
Absolutely.
Kickstarter? What I draw, Greg?
Weave the hair into something relevant. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that or like a weapon or some kind of like item you can use.
Like a hair weapon?
Yeah, or maybe like a cloak. That could be kind of cool. The idea is our Nova is kind of like an assassin type character. So we should make like a like a cloak of this stuff, and she can wrap it around people and I don't
Make
know.
them dream.
Yeah, no, that's fun. That opens up a lot of possibilities.
That's cool. I like doing that. I like jamming like that, and I hope you guys like it too. I think it inspires me a lot to have new ideas. You know, I sit so much in this office with nobody around, and I like to jam.
That was the one thing that's nice about working on a bigger team is that you have like a lot of people to collaborate with and talk about, and you share your dumb idea and they have a really cool one, or vice versa, and you kind of like collaborate. So having you guys here is kind of neat. So please feel free, throw ideas, throw out comments. It's always fun to chat about game design.
Maybe I'll just do a little happy old lady face. Yeah, or the Kickstarter is doing well. Like it's the first thing that it's the first time we even like considered doing a Kickstarter when we wanted to try. There's a lot of firsts for us.
Mm-hmm.
I did not expect how much of an industry this whole thing is. I thought it would be just like, oh, I'll just go there and people give me money and I'll make a game. You know what I mean? Like, but I've been inundated by people saying, hey, you cannot just go in there and you need to do ads and all kinds of shit. So I was a bit taken aback on how much like of an industry that was formed around Kickstarter. I got so many messages of people saying, hey, I want to help you in the marketing of this, like pay me money. But it's like the whole point is that I don't have money. So why would I give you money? Anyway. But it's doing well. I think we're about getting to 60%.
We're pretty
right
close.
now.
Yeah.
I have a ticker here. Yeah.
Nice. There it is.
57%.
21 days.
Yeah. So by the way, if anybody contribute right now during the live, I'm not gonna put the name. I'm gonna ring the tip bell. Bing bing bing. A new supporter. Do Succubines have wings? That's a good question. Should they have wings?
I think a flying spider is scarier than a spider.
I'm not sure. I've seen a lot of images of succubus. Like I usually like to go to the source and see how they actually looked. Some of them do have wings, but a lot of them don't. They're just women. They're just wicked women. So the first image I got in my head, it was this demonic lady wearing this big T-shirt, like this. Instead of wearing a dress, she was, because part of the culture in the primordial age is that they co-opt some of our culture and they think our culture, our pop culture, is the best thing ever. So I want her to be wearing like a big, like, I don't know, basketball shirt, like a male basketball shirt, triple XL, but with horns and stuff. I didn't think about doing. Hi, Gene. Oh,
Hey,
Gene.
Gene. How's it going?
How are you doing? Gene worked with us too. He was like responsible for all the amazing characters. He was our lead character artist, art director guy. They call him Gene the Machine. So good. Or because he has no emotions. I don't know. One of the two.
You're getting pretty stone faced at times. Good, good.
Yeah.
Hard to read.
Yeah. He was responsible for protecting the DR team from people because he had like this mean face, and people come asking for stuff. They'll look at Gene and say, like, "Never mind."
Also, if you guys have like specific questions about the Kickstarter or the project you want to know, shoot. Might run through gameplay in a few minutes, or let Gabe draw for a little bit. It's kind of.
I think we shouldn't call it gameplay. People have high expectations of it.
Oh, okay, sorry. What would we
Is
call
there
it?
another name for something very early that we
Prototype? Prototype?
yeah, prototype's a good
Prototype's
one.
kind of, you know.
Yeah.
It is a game. It is an engine. It is playable. It is, you know, technically a game.
It is playable. Yeah. Right.
So, but yeah, it's a week, so it's got a long way to go. But
Do any of you guys have experience in game development or have tried to make your own game? You know what we're talking about. It's really interesting in the beginning, and I really wanted to share with everybody how interesting is this first part of it. How sudden you're like messing around with stuff that really doesn't look at all like a game, and then suddenly one day somebody hands you a controller and goes, "Hey, play this," and then you go like, "Oh my god, it's a video game. It's all broken and stuff." I'm playing. TJ knows. TJ was responsible for creating the Sausage Fighter, which is the prototype for Contest of Champions.
yeah,
And it was amazing because it was just two pills bumping each other, but it was super fun. So we knew that game is gonna be good at that time.
yeah. TJ also did all the the early prototyping on MRock with all the fighting styles and the different characters, and
Oh yeah,
that was a blast. I really enjoyed working on that stuff. That was early days are always fun.
was that you?
Huh?
Was that you that did that prototype, the first one?
Which one? There were several
The first
prototypes.
MRock one?
No, like TJ did the first one, I think, and then we sort of split off and did some versions of it on our own and thought some ideas up.
Yeah.
But no, I think TJ was responsible for the very first one.
TJ is awesome.
TJ is awesome.
When we have money, we're gonna hire TJ. So give us money, okay?
He's on his own game now. Right now, we can't say that. Can't.
Oh yeah, he's making his own game, but you know, can make two
yeah.
games. It's fine.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Should
This old lady? I kind of like her face now. Should this old lady have some kind of pattern on her thing? What do you think, Gene? I always ask Gene. We used to sit side by side, and I always ask him, like, "What do you think, Gene?" And then he go, I don't know." She needs 6 arms. Come on, man. You need to think about it when our animators start animating those things. You know, poor guys and girls. Animate 6 arms.
It's a problem for the animators. It'll look cool.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool. I kind of like that.
It's pretty neat. I like that.
Yeah. Let's keep it like that for now, and let's go to Succubine. Let's just a sec. I want to add a second layer here and try and see if I can. So a little bit of a.
I would say though, if we're going for the idea that's like a succubine, maybe your face is a bit more like alluring.
The Succubine. This is not the Succubine. This is the Madame or the Madame.
Well, but still, I mean, that's, you know, she's
okay. Let's
of a den where people are coming to, so a bit more of a friendly face as opposed to, or I mean, friendly is not the right term, but
No, the idea that nobody sees them, nobody sees those women. They probably have attendants that
Right.
will. So the succubine should come from maybe here. So they'll probably have some big horns, because horns are sexy.
Definitely.
Anyway, so yeah, we have 23 days to go on the Kickstarter, and if there's any rich Arab sheiks listening right now, we're only a few $1,000s to go. Like nothing. It's almost nothing. It's like for the price of a gold steak from that guy that sprinkles gold, the salt guy.
Yeah.
You can help an indie game.
Yeah. Feel good about yourself.
I feel like I'm
saved a cow.
I feel like I'm on PBS, like doing one of those
Like
flash
Bob Ross?
drives.
Oh.
Those flash drives.
Oh
No?
yeah.
Yeah. So
those are great.
Oh no, you get a tote bag.
Yeah. We should have had some free coffee mugs. That would have been great. Everyone loves coffee mugs.
Yeah. We have one.
We have one, yeah. I mean,
yeah, my brother is my business partner, and
he's in the chat, I believe.
He's in the chat? I thought he was putting his kids to sleep.
Maybe not. Yeah. Maybe yeah, he was in there.
Oh, temporary tattoos, yeah. No, we're not. We'll give you permanent tattoos if you fund our game.
And here comes Alberto.
Alberto.
So good to see you, buddy. Thank you. As usual, yeah, I'm just watching.
Alberto. Hi, Alberto.
Yeah.
Alberto is one of the designers too from MRock, and he created the famous territory control.
Oh man.
That one's so much fun.
That was so much fun. The simplest possible prototype but it was like the most fun I've had on that game.
Tell the story. What's the story?
You want me to tell a story?
Yeah. Remember?
Can we do I can tell the story. I remember it.
Yeah.
But how much can we share about the game?
What?
Is
the game's dead.
Is secretly watching this and gonna crap on our heads?
The game's dead. So.
The game is dead. No, there's a tournament.
Don't bad mouth anybody.
No, it's not bad mouth anybody. I'm actually complimenting, Alberto because.
Yeah, I think I told that story already in the interview. It's
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I guess a long time ago when I first got to Gabam, this was like years back. MRock, the vision for MRock that Gabe set was very different from what came out, at least in terms of the core gameplay. And one of the core concepts to it was the idea, because if you guys have played the game, if you have, thanks for playing it, and I'm sorry because it was a bit of a disaster. The idea in the game is you're supposed to pick your house. That was kind of the part of the game. You pick your house, and you that was a big part of what you were doing. And you had these things about the house that were tied to characters that kind of gave you an emotional attachment and so on.
And then there's Alberto guy that he was an asshole.
Well, he was, yeah. Well, he's the reason the project failed. I was gonna get to that in a second. I just give me a second for that. I'm joking. So the idea was a big part of the game outside of gameplay was this idea of territory control. Basically, imagine a giant risk board, but of all the different houses. And you're trying to take over Battle World one by one. So every battle you would fight for your house would earn you some sort of point against territory. And the idea is you actually could take over territory from other factions. So you could actually go into Gamma Horde and actually take their territory out, get their resources, get their bases, and so on. So really, it was a big ongoing battle of territory. And so Alberto created this Flash, was it Flash HTML? I don't know, HTML.
It was a web thing, right? Yeah.
Oh, was it? In a web thing. It was web.
Yeah,
thing.
It was on a website. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was basically just like a really, really simple, like MS Paint version of Risk. and we sent an invitation to the company, and they could all just kind of play. And all you could really do was every like few seconds you get a point to spend, and it would count as a victory, as if you had played a match, like every 30 seconds, I think. And you'd spend it for your house, and you'd try to take over territory. And no one at the studio, well, we didn't really think it was going to be a huge thing. I didn't stop playing the entire day. It was supposed to be 1 hour. People were breaking out spreadsheets. People had chat channels going about like what territory to control, who to attack. We were coordinating efforts to try to take over. Like it was the most fun I had in that game, basically. And unfortunately, because of a lot of things, scope being one of them, that feature didn't make it in. But the game was supposed to be building toward that, which would have, I think, made that game fantastic. We actually all often joke that really that game could have been a match 3, and it still would have been super fun.
People started bribing each other too.
Yeah, there's bribes.
To win that game. There was nobody worked that day, so it was pretty weird.
No, that was
the sign of a good game. Yeah. Anyway,
Bulls jersey, I like that. It could be like an old ripped up sports jersey.
Yeah, you can have a sport jersey like.
Can those survive 3,000 years?
No.
It
looks like a 10M.
It's fine. It survived 3,000 years. They found it in a.
Oh yeah, I don't know how to draw the bulls. It's
just a bull.
Just a bull like that.
Yeah. There you go.
I probably couldn't. We probably won't be able to use the real one.
Okay.
So we just change to something else like that.
I mean that's
pretty close.
It's ballpark. It's ballpark. It also looks like her, unfortunately. So.
Oh yeah, what does that say? That's
it's like a shirt with your face on it.
Oh yeah, it's.
But I mean, I didn't say it was a bad thing. It's
anyway,
cool. I like it.
Yeah, whatever.
Do you want to show some gameplay for a bit?
Yeah. Let's do it. I'm gonna stop this and share the screen. So what do you want to?
I mean, I say just jump in and like let this train pass by.
The train.
Just jump in and I can like sort of talk because your stream is better than mine. I can just start to talk you through. Just talk a little bit about gameplay, and I can just ramble. And people have questions, please post them.
I'm gonna
because I hate hearing myself talk for a long time.
I'm gonna play. So what we should know about this, Greg?
So I guess we're really early on in the project, and so when you're early on in a project, one of the things you really want to do first is prove out the things that you don't know. Things you do know is really easy. What kind of combat you're going to have is we know where we're going to land for combat. We're somewhere between Hades and Death's Door. We have an idea of what we want for combat, and enough games that have been isometric have proven out combat is doable. So it's not something that we don't know. One of the things we don't know is or we haven't proven out is this idea of 3 different characters living in 3 different eras that are separated by a massive amount of time, and how those characters are going to solve problems or solve. Oh, cool! Thanks for showing up for a bit, though. That was awesome. How they're going to solve puzzles? Like how does one character in one time affect other characters in another time? Like how do we solve these time bending mysteries? So the first thing we want to do is start with 2, keep it super simple, and build one area, which is basically the Bastion market, the first opening space. Do you want to show the scene at least, or?
Yeah, let me share.
So it's also very early on. The process is called gray blocking, so it's not really exciting. It's just really kind of getting a sense of like what the space is. Every game has to do it, and as you guys are usually what you would not show this until much later in the project when the artist had a pass on it. It doesn't look like some designer took care of it. But as you guys are here and we're watching it step by step, you get to see the super early how things look ugly.
Let me just a sec.
Okay.
I need to unshare my Photoshop and share this. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you guys see this?
Yeah. Do you want to show the scene first, or you just want to play the scene?
Well, no. Let's play it.
Okay. So the things we wanted to prove out first were getting the character in the scene and trying to get a really, really simple, very, very simple across time puzzle.
Where should I go?
Oh, where do you want to go? Go down to the lower right. Visit the scriptorium. See what's going on there. Say
Okay,
hi
so
to the.
this is supposed to be some kind of bookstore, right?
Yeah. So the idea is in this game, because especially in this first era that Nova lives in, the primordial era, um, the people have started to like rebuild society, and so a big part of what they're doing here is scavenging for old things. They love old things, especially information. This guy here, for example, is a collector of books. He absolutely loves books, and so any books you can find in the world, you can bring back to him. You can trade for items and things that we all know you can do. So,
Not very talkative.
no, he's a reader. He's not a chatter. Um,
Okay.
so yeah,
As you can see, like we're the main character is 3D,
yes,
but we're putting some temp. We're actually cutting out concepts from the art and just pasting it there as a flat character. So
because it's better than just like lame 3D gray box models. So yeah, head around, take a look around the city, kind of take a peek. Got the old cowboy statue from the game, and in the middle here we have the eternal tree. I don't know how much you want to. Oh, you can pick up an olive there.
Can I?
Yeah, you can pick it up.
What if I don't want to?
Well, you don't have to. I'm not faxing game.
I'm just kidding. No, yeah. The eternal tree. We want to have some elements that are in every era. So this tree is a point of reference, and when you move to another area, you see that same tree but in a different state. So should I pick up this?
Yeah, pick it up.
You made an inventory. Oh my god.
Yeah, we have inventory. No, we got inventory. Don't worry. It's essential to the first quest because combat is forthcoming.
I like Cheesebird. Cheesebird is one of my
Cheesebird's awesome. We have to provide cheese.
And we also have this kid here. Eventually, you'll be able to give him money, right?
Yeah. We already have a system of things. Yeah, give him money and whatnot. So yeah, keep on.
First, give us money, right?
Yeah, there you go. Okay. This orphan.
We're like that Robo Kid begging for money.
Yeah, we basically are. Yeah, but
so okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Just head around the city, kind of wander around, see the characters, and see what there is to see.
Did you do any mission stuff? So
for this one, I kept it simple because I just wanted to focus on the main mission. Next time we'll have the characters interacting and talking and way more dialogue. So yeah, so one of the things that we wanted to talk about, at least or try to prove out early on, was the idea is you're switching between two different time periods. So there's a market in the past and in the primordial era, and a market in the dystopian era. The thing is, if these two worlds are exactly the same, we just change the textures on them, just change the skin. We think it's going to feel really cheap. It's not going to feel like a different experience. It's just, you just made the world nighttime. That's kind of it.
So it's 1,000 years in the future, so it's bound to have a lot of things change, right?
Yeah. I mean, do you want to switch eras?
So I switch eras with the L.
L.
There you go.
So now, our transitions are still a bit rough. So I'm working on that. So now, as you can see here, we've now leapt forward. If you saw in the corner, 1,000 years into the mother Naomi's time.
Oh, okay, so that's all broken. People don't read in the future. They hate books, right? So,
yeah. They hate books. They hate books. Well, no. So in this particular one, we have a cult. I think it's the Midwidows. They basically burn the scriptorium down. There's knowledge is forbidden in the future, so the scriptorium is destroyed. So unfortunately for Naomi, if she wants to read, she can't do it, which sucks.
But you have some kind of like early mission structure that requires Naomi to get one of those books.
Exactly.
To do something else, right?
Yeah. In fact, you can also go talk to Naomi if you want. She's not going to say anything to you. Well, she'll again with my witty dialogue, Alberta, you can talk to her.
Okay. So as you can see, this is the ghost of Nova, right? So she's in the past, and you can talk. At this point in the game, we're able to communicate. Yeah. So she'll probably say something. Do you have a?
Yeah. No. If you talk to her, she'll say something to you. So yeah. Hey, look at Mom.
I love you, Mom.
Look at it. Yeah. Come on.
She hates her mom.
No, she doesn't hate her. Don't give it away. She hates her dad. We talked.
No, she loves her dad. That's cool. Mom's not cool.
Okay, well, I'll change dialogue.
So let's say she tells Nova to get a book in the past because the books are all burnt and she needs this book.
We actually have that as a quest. Don't spoil it.
Okay, so
So yeah, so actually, if you want to run over to the left side of the screen too, so you guys saw how in one time period the scriptorium looked like one thing, and in a more future time period, it looks very different. It's been the same thing
so
with the
this is the
eternal tree
same
here,
tree, right?
which is at
But
the
it's
heart
almost
of the
dead.
story in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's only one little leaf hanging for
So
dear
the other
life.
thing about those landmarks as well is if we feel if we make the zones too different, then it's really easy for the players to get kind of lost and not understand how the two spaces connect. So it's trying
Right.
to find that balance between a space
Yeah.
that's similar enough that players won't get lost, but different enough that it will feel like a different experience. So for example, here, if you gave across this makeshift bridge, by makeshift I mean really boring plain
A
makeshift bridge.
Yeah, in the future
Um,
they use blocks.
Oh man, you just
Oh, Berto, nice
trash
comment.
talking in the chat. If Odin was watching this, I'd be crying.
Okay,
So, yeah,
so
so
now like the city's kind of has a gash in the middle, right? Can
yeah.
I
So
fall? Can I fall to the world?
I mean, if you want to, you're gonna have to respawn though, because
Oh my god, I
I
did fall
assume
to
that
the world.
yeah, you're gonna very slowly
Oh,
fall,
what a bad
and the
game.
illusion
Don't
of
give
the
money
world
for the
falls
game.
apart, and
Don't
now
give
you're
money.
just floating.
So what do I have to play again?
You gotta play
Okay,
again.
I'll play again.
That wasn't. It's part of the
It
deal.
was not planned.
It's not planned. It's not part of the bargain. So
Okay, so let's walk again. Okay, I'm
yeah.
here. I'm
So
here.
also, if you notice, and this is a subtle thing, that there's actually a difference in play styles between, well, at least in movement between Nova and Naomi. So Nova is, as she's more of an assassin character and quicker, she can actually move a lot faster. She actually has a
Right.
dodge roll in there, although I will apologize for the animation as it's still going.
So she doesn't have. We don't have any combat. Oh, that's a nice place.
Yeah, there's a temple. Yeah, so that's the big temple that you see in the previs piece. Over here we have the shipbreakers
Right.
area. The idea that again they're all scavengers, so they're bringing in these parts from old ships, kind of like in the Force Awakens, stripping them down and selling the parts. It's something else that you'll be doing as part of the game.
Right.
There's a little cat with a
Right.
sword.
Spaceships, you mean? Right? Not.
Spaceships. Sorry, spaceships. Yeah.
Because the city's in the middle of the desert, so.
Oh well, yeah.
It has to be. Has to be
Steam Lords, yeah, this being like a steampunk era, there's people who are taking this old tech and repurposing it for new stuff, which is
right.
will be part of the crafting system in the game.
So give me the mission. What should I do?
Okay, so switch back to Naomi. Let's flip to the time period.
Okay.
So yeah, so we also we're debating too about, well, not debating. We just wanted to prove out early that we didn't want the characters just following each other around all the time, because then it kind of felt like you were in a party of people, but you just can control one at a time. So whenever you leave a character from in one area and go back, that character kind of right now stays where they are. But the idea is in the future, they'll kind of like wander around in their time period and do things. And you can kind of switch back and forth to give them a sense of being alive. So you head back across the chasm. The idea with the chasm is basically the
Axolotl. I love axolotl. That's why I do
awesome.
one.
Actually, if you zoom up a little bit, can you like ortho size up a tiny bit?
What's the key?
I think. Yeah.
Oh.
Keyboard. There you go.
Oh, the game is almost done. Jesus.
Almost. I know it's shippable.
And I can go back too. Oh my god.
You can go super close. Yeah, you can zoom in, zoom out. We have it.
Okay, so zoom out. So what
that's
I'm not gonna fall from the bridge. Bridges in ISO games are complicated because you have to do like 2 keys if you're playing a keyboard.
Well,
when you do diagonal,
no one plays on keyboards. We're playing with joysticks.
Who plays on keyboard? Yeah, anybody in the comments that play on keyboards, let me know.
Oh,
we do have a controller, but no.
That's right. It is controller friendly, which you should be using. But yeah, camera controls.
Yeah, like what do you think? I made those buildings be
so you talk to that. So that's so that chasm. So talk to that pelican dude there. There you go.
Woman.
Pelican woman there. Sorry, that was. So one of the things we also did, and Alberto, shut up. Oh, not that. It's a dialogue thing. One of the things.
Hi, Kelly. Hey, Kelly's here.
Hey, Kelly. Oh, cool. Hey. One of the things that Gabe was trying if you guys watched the previous piece, was the idea that comes in the ages, what kind of obstacles there to find the right spot to go from the first age to the last.
Right. What?
Were the obstacles to find the right spot to go from first age? Do you mean like can characters get stuck in obstacles, or do you mean what are the things preventing characters from going from one spot to another?
when it comes to differentiation, what kind of episode there are to find the right spot to go? Yeah, some places when you go to the future, that place is going to be completely blocked or destroyed or not even exist anymore. So
Yeah,
you need to find your way around time to know how to navigate that by using the 3 characters.
yeah,
So right now, Nova needs the book. The library is destroyed, so she needs to
yeah.
find a way, no around space, but around time. Does that
Actually,
make sense?
here, Gabe. So we have a quest here. I'll explain the dialogue thing in a second. Just go and
Okay.
just tap through this.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yep.
Okay. Does that? What did I do?
Press there you go.
Okay.
That button. Thank you. Yep.
No
Cool.
way. Did you
There's no,
proofread this?
I fixed it. You didn't sync up.
Oh yeah, I stomped some of his changes last night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No way is not a word. So yeah, so basically right now, this guy needs a book from the scriptorium. Obviously, that's not possible because it's collapsed and it's all burned down. But for some reason, he needs it. We didn't get too much into the back of the quest, the backstory of the quest.
For reasons.
So as Naomi can't get a book because there's nothing there, maybe she has to rely on Nova for that. So if you accept this quest, Katine, and then head down the stairs, okay, and then go through the rubble, and now try to go to the northeast. So obviously, and don't fall down the gap. Don't fall down the gap. So you see,
There's no bridge here.
No, you can't. I know exactly. That's good. That's good. So now leave your character there and switch back to. Actually, don't yet. Go talk to Nova.
Okay, she's in the market. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fall. I'm not gonna.
Don't fall. Don't fall to restart the quest.
Okay.
Okay.
Axolotl. By the way, we should write some axolotls in the game. I think we should.
Yeah.
Okay. Nova.
So talk to Nova. There we go.
I need a book. Can you find a way in? Okay.
Find a way in. Nice and simple.
Leave it to me, Mom.
Yeah, there you go. See? Ace dialogue.
Okay.
So now
I want Tara Strong to be the voice of Nova. Can we make that happen? Can we put it in the
stretch goal?
Stretch goals?
Totally.
Okay.
Okay, so switch back to Nova.
Okay.
And then go talk to the scriptorium guy. Jay.
Is Jay?
Okay. Jay. There you go. And then go down to the scriptorium guy. Yeah, that
closer.
Yeah, you go closer. That's fine.
What?
The scriptorium guy.
The book guy?
Yeah, book guy. The book guy.
So
because we don't have any actual gameplay outside of this, normally this is a place where he'd go, oh, I can give you a book. However, I need you to do something for me. Go take down a bandit lord. Go find a rare creature. Go salvage some parts. Go adventure. But in this case, he's just going to give you the book.
Okay. All right. So yeah, cool.
Yep.
Got it. So it'll be more complicated in the actual.
Brian. Hey, Brian.
Brian.
Hey, man.
Oh
wow.
my God.
How's it going?
Brian's like, oh my God. Now it became important.
No. Okay.
Okay. Now we can screw it up.
So now go talk to Naomi again.
Okay. Oh, okay. Naomi.
Yeah. Talk to Naomi again. Cool.
I'm stuck. Okay.
Yeah.
Where's Naomi? I forgot. Oh,
there she is. Yeah. Talk to her. Okay. So
I got your book. Why should I hide it for 1,000 years? Okay.
Mm-hmm. I actually made an effort on this one.
Oh, the Forbidden Temple, which is less forbidden your time. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. We'll keep in that one.
I don't know. So what I was going to say earlier was the reason the dialogue is crap is because one, I wrote it, and two, if you guys watch the previous piece, one of the things Gabe was trying, which I really think is really cool, was trying to simplify all the dialogue in the game because people don't read unless you're really into that kind of thing. But he had this idea where we used to use emojis to basically communicate things. So if you talk to the Pelican guy, rather than him saying, hey, I'm a Pelican guy, I do this, I need a book, you just see a book emoji. And the book is actually in the scriptorium. So the idea was to see if it's possible to use emojis to simplify the dialogue and make the game a bit more clear. But always have the option, of course, to go, actually, I want to know more about the game, which is kind of cool. So
if we do our job right, there'll be no dialogue in this game. It'll be just visual language, like I had in the video.
Yeah.
for the Kickstarter. So we're gonna try to convey everything that we have, all the missions through. It's almost like you assemble an IKEA furniture
Yeah.
and you don't have any words, but you can still somehow make it happen.
Again, yeah. So to the earlier comment I had about, early on you're trying to prove out the things you don't know. That's one of the things we didn't know.
Yeah.
So I didn't have time to get the icon system in, so it's not there yet. But anyway,
Fail often and fail fast, right? That's what they
there
say.
you go. So you can just miss this now.
Okay.
And so now, if you want to, I mean, yeah. So
I like that one too. Nice joke.
there you go. Okay. So if you head down to head southeast.
South. Oh, geez.
Southeast down the stairs. Oh, geez, sorry.
Southeast.
You can go. Yeah, southeast.
Yeah,
there you go.
Southeast. Okay.
So now, if you go to the now the southwest. Okay. Actually, can you also zoom up a little bit? It's pretty hard to see on the orthographic camera. So yeah. So and if you leave her there, and now jump to Naomi. Okay. So now if you come down that same place, you'll see that Naomi's blocked by that chasm and she can't get past, but Nova actually can. So while it's a very simple example, and of course in this case she can go around, obviously, but the idea was to show that there are areas of the world that would be inaccessible to some characters, and you have to use the characters together to actually gain access to that, or potentially in the future have one character give access. Maybe at some point, Nova has to defeat some kind of enemy that then crashes across the ground and leaves a bridge, and I don't know.
Yeah, maybe potentially characters can sacrifice themselves.
Yeah.
They're dead anyway in the future. 1,000 years in the future, your daughter is dead. So at least her death will work for something. So what should I do now?
So go back to Nova.
Nova.
Yeah. So now go back to the temple at the top. J.
Is that J?
J. Okay. Go to the temple at the top, and leave the book hidden in the temple where it will stay for 1,000 years.
It's actually 900 years if you're being pedantic about it.
I wasn't. You clearly were. So
just walk. You go in. There'll be a whole quest of going in, right?
Well, there'll be a whole quest of going in, and obviously it's not just this simple. But the point
there'll be guards that you fight or creatures or whatever to make it a bit harder.
Yeah.
So I just.
So now just
hide the book.
Hide the books there. You've lost the book, and now the book is hidden. So now walk out of the temple, switch back to Naomi.
I can wait here, no?
Well, you can wait here. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I can wait here to see Naomi finish her quest.
The book would not decompose in 1,000 years, Alberto. That's not how
because in the real game we have those time capsules that keep everything in stasis. Or a wizard did it. One of the two.
Yeah.
Oops. I don't know.
You have to go that way. Yeah, it's a maze. Not really. But a lot of the external parts. Yeah, now you can go up to where the book was and recover the book. So the point of this market.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, you can talk to her, or you
can. The temple is all fucked up.
Yeah, it is. Just go in the front door of the temple where it's ruined. Yeah, where you left the book. There you go. Pick up the book.
Pick it up.
There, you got the book.
I got a book.
So now she has a 1,000-year-old book that somehow survived 1,000 years. Thank you. And now if you go back to the Pelican dude, you finish the quest and you will achieve your reward, which is some really dry dialogue.
Oh my god!
Pelican.
Oh, the Pelican guy.
The Pelican.
Oh yeah, I
thought it was girl. You were saying she was a girl.
Pelican. Yeah, he's a girl.
Yeah, so again, it's very, very simple and it's missing a whole lot of gameplay. But the point here was to show how the maps are different across time in a way that's still understandable to the player, but will play differently or have a different flow. How one of the time shifting mechanics works, passing items across time. You can also pass information across time as well. And how characters interact with each other, even though they're in ghost form. So bye, Naomi.
Yeah, and across the game, you start at not being able to do much because you're learning how to use the Kinshft, right? And so we want to have that progression. You learn first to feel where those people are, and then talk to them, and then influence them across time, even backwards in time. So there's a lot of stuff. And we're showing this to you, which is usually not what game developers would do. Just so we can see the next time we show this to you, you're gonna have a frame of reference of how much this thing's gonna be progressing, and you're gonna feel like part of it. which is hopefully will be a good thing, and we're not exposing ourselves too much. But we like to show you like how those things are actually worked on. And then the next time you see it, you go, oh, there's art here, there's animation, there's combat. We'll keep adding things and inviting you in to be part of this process, and you're gonna hopefully enjoy it. Hi, Erico. I'm gonna add you.
Hi guys.
You there? Oh,
Here.
sweet. Hey.
Erico's my brother and also our business partner. He's a lawyer. Don't hold that against him. But he's taking care of all the good stuff, or we doing this boring shit of games.
Yeah.
Can you show some spreadsheets, Erico?
Yes,
No.
I have a lot of those.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
I can show you later.
Yeah, he's in Rio de Janeiro right now, so we are multinational. Since the beginning. Let's see how. You guys have questions, comments, say shit, like whatever you want to say. Just while I resume my drawing here.
Yeah, I can also like talk about combat a little bit, because combat's kind of our next step right now. The big first step was getting the idea that the worlds being slightly different from each other, so that playing in the different in the same location in two different eras feels different.
Oh yeah, you muted. Something happened to your sound, Greg. Greg's muted.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll unmute. Hey. Are you back? You got muted for about 20 seconds.
Oh, okay. All right. So, I gave away all our secrets. Damn it. Okay. Thank God. Yeah, I know.
What are you talking about?
Can you kick people out of chat? No, you can't. So I was talking about, in the same way that we're doing the worlds as a first step to show how the same location in different eras play differently. Combat is kind of the next step, because we have 3 characters. The last thing we want to do is just have a skin swap between 3 characters, because again, you're not experiencing a new gameplay or anything different. You're just playing the same character in a different time period. So the 3 characters are basically based on like loose archetypes. So Nova is more of an assassin type character, so high damage, single target, dash in, dash out. She has a stealth mechanic, which is pretty cool. We need some basic stealth in the game. Naomi being the mother, a warrior, but also like a really genius engineer. She, pretty heavy. She's got an exosuit that she can wear, but she also relies heavily on gadgets like remote turrets and remote bombs. And then the father, Niles, is kind of a crazy physicist. So I don't know if you want to say like,
he's a
ranged Jedi, but he can.
He's a science wizard.
Science wizard, but he doesn't use wizardy. He uses actual science. So
yeah, but science in 10,000 AD.
Yeah.
So he's also indistinguishable from magic, right? That's the idea.
Yeah. So he's a marksman character, but with basically like force power abilities. So all 3 of the characters play very differently, and their gameplay will be very different. So originally we were thinking about not, keeping the characters a bit more similar. This is way back in the day, but it became pretty clear, that's not going to be very fun swapping through characters. Even right now, it doesn't feel like I want more differentiation when I'm playing the characters. I just don't want them to run faster or run slower. I want them to dash faster, have different critical rates, different combos, different heavies. It should feel different, like switching, to a different weapon in Hades, for example. To swipe characters while in gameplay, like
you mean like in combat? That's what they might be talking about. Yeah, like, we will control somewhat.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like some areas you'll be free to swipe back and forth. Some other areas, or maybe during combat, it'll be harder. And some other areas you won't be able to do it at all, according to what you're doing with the story. We want to plant some areas of the game that we see the Kinshft almost like a cell phone signal.
Yep.
To have like a very modern comparison. You're in the city. You're closer to the center of the Kinshft of this force. You'll be able to do more things. You'll be able to swap and do different things. But if you walk into the desert, for example, your signal, quote unquote, will be weak. So you'll be on your own for that part of the mission. and if you need somebody else's help, you need to like get in contact again with them.
Yeah. So that should be a lot of fun. Can Niles and Naomi affect the combat of the primordial age?
Yes.
So that's one of the things we have to prove actual next is the idea of what can play, like what characters can affect across the ages. The idea that Nova in the past could do something that would affect the hostility of combat in the future is a pretty cool idea. And the idea that Niles is able to sort of in kind of a reverse timeline thing, sort of tug on the threads of the future and affect the past. So there'll be ways for that to actually happen.
Because Niles, as it stands right now, Niles is the only character that has this weird quantum powers that he can entangle things back into the past.
Yeah.
So he's the only one that can do things backwards.
Yeah.
And Naomi is kind of the bridge between the two. So each one of the characters have a little bit of a vocation. We still need to prove some of the stuff, but we want to go really crazy with Niles and what the stuff that he can do. One of the ideas we've been talking about is have those quantum boxes that exist in 3 different eras at the same time, so they're entangled. And in some quests, you'll be able to craft or cook or whatever by adding ingredients in all 3 times and having something pop out of the box in all 3 times. So it's a kind of like we love the Zelda cooking, we love crafting all this stuff, but we added this time component to it that I think was gonna create a really cool twist on the idea.
Yeah, and how they're entangled too is how they can pass stuff across time. To Alberto's comment earlier about a book decaying after 1,000 years, they have ways of transferring items across time, and the quantum, the box could be one of them. It's always fun to like combine things in a box and see what happens, a la Herodric's cube from Diablo.
Yes. How's that? Does she look good? I
like it a lot, actually.
I'm gonna try and do a little bit, the horn be a bit more fancy. Maybe add some flowers to it. I don't know.
Some
She
flowers.
needs to be a bit scary, but a bit seductive at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know, just testing things out. This is my version of a prototype. You know what I mean? Everything could go wrong, but something will come out of it that is okay. Did we get Erico? Did we get any new pledges? No.
Sorry, I have to check. But I think we received some, about 2 million.
2 million? Oh, that's good.
Nice. All right.
Go home now.
The stream was a success. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah, like that's kind of what we want to do. We want to involve everyone in the process as much as they want to be into it. So,
yeah. Did all you guys get a chance to go to the page and check the rewards? There's some cool rewards there.
some cool stuff.
About becoming characters in the game and even becoming one of the major villains in the game. And that's not only visual stuff. This is part of the actual main quest of the game. Imagine like Alberto as a villain. I right now I can already see it in my head. Alberto holding a gigantic water bottle, a golden water bottle that he used to carry to the office.
The giant mug. Yeah.
The giant mug, like 3 liters of water. And then he uses that as a weapon. That would be scary.
Hey, Gabe, Maximus is asking if you can make the devs moderators so they know who's who.
Oh, moderators of what? I don't understand.
I'm going to guess the... yeah, and Unstable's asking about the impacting time both ways. Like, it's pretty easy to understand how a character can do something in the past and affect the future, but how do you have the future affect the past? Like we're saying, that's the one thing that Niles has the ability to do. He has the ability to play with time, so he's able to sort of almost like send a reverse butterfly effect, I guess, from one to another. So
he's able to detect special objects and places that have an entanglement to the past that he can do quantum effects back. If you think about that, in this game we don't want to subscribe to a linear version of time. In ancient mythologies, in some ancient mythologies, time is a circular construct. So time, it doesn't go from A to B. It's always going like this. So in that case, Niles would be able to send it through the forward. It's always forward, right? But it ends in the past. So he's not sending things back. That's impossible. He's sending things forwards through the loop to the past, where Nova or Naomi can get. Does that make sense? We could talk about quantum mechanics here.
It does make sense.
I love talking about this shit.
I thought that was supposed to be the big secret, the big reveal.
Nah, there's more secrets.
Is it? Well, so let's see what we have in the game.
Yeah.
On this, also on the YouTube channel, Gabe, making us moderators in the YouTube channel, because we're streaming from StreamYard, so we don't actually see the YouTube channel. We can't see who's who.
Oh, we're not moderators in the YouTube channel?
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that.
How big an impact? I think a pretty big impact. I think being able to have like a massive impact in the past would be amazing. Like, for example, having a very like a hostile faction, or a boss, like an elite boss character in the past that's out to kill Naomi, or out to kill Nova, and she can't do anything about it. But somehow Niles is able to send a ripple back, so that she actually becomes an ally. We love the idea of being able to like actually, fighting is fun. Everyone loves combat. That's awesome. But sometimes thinking your way through a situation and having a different outcome possible makes for a cool game, makes for more interesting player choice, and makes the game more replayable. Like, there's like, that's cool if you give a first clap. Quantum Leap. I talked to Scott Bakula. Can he be Niles?
Scott Bakula, he's probably 80.
Yeah.
Greg, we got our first pledge from Malaysia.
Oh, sweet.
Well, we got during the live.
I'm not sure, but this is the last one.
Back to the Future.
Let me see.
Back to the Future would be pretty cool. Rick and Morty can work too, because we could do Rick and Morty, although a bit more adult, but still pretty funny.
Cool.
We'll hide the hot sauce in there somewhere.
Yeah, I like Rick and Morty. Okay, so I kind of like where this is going with her. Let's go back to. I'll see what I can do for the t-shirt later, but let's go a little bit like this.
That's cool.
Oh, she's coming from a dream. What do you guys think of this time for the lives, or you prefer some other? We'll consider doing on the weekend, but I don't know if people will be down. And plus, we're in Vancouver time, so we need to do it at a time where other time zones can do.
Yeah.
So like
it's 10 p.m. in Brazil.
It's 10 p.m. in Brazil.
Yeah, it's wine time.
But you guys sleep late. There's some spiders.
That's cool.
What else you guys want to know about the game? Let us know. It's your chance. Or you want to ask about something else? What is Greg's favorite Thundercats episode?
Wow. I don't know the answer to that question. There's so many good ones.
Good. That's a good out.
More of these? Yeah, that was the plan. I mean, I don't know if we make it like a, what if Wednesday every Wednesday? I guess it depends how much people actually want to see. Like, it's when you're actually making the game and you're like sort of in the engine making things, you feel like a lot of things happen. A lot of stuff happens over the course of a week. and the audience might not quite think that enough stuff happens. So, we'll probably do it like next week and see how it goes. And if people are happy with the progress, I'll gladly do this every Wednesday. It's just working, but working with people who actually are watching you work, or watching Gabe work in this case.
I think it'll be cool because next time you can. I don't know. I wouldn't have people sit through coding or anything like that, but
no. Well, that's why I'm not. Sure.
Yeah, but if next week we have something different on the same quest, we add different things. It's also a good stimulus for us to get things done at a certain deadline, so people can take a look. It's almost like you guys become more producers in a way. You know what I mean?
That's true. That is kind of nice.
We need to show progress every week. Sometimes you get into our little caves and things that are moving in their own speed.
Early on, it's really good to have like small goals you can accomplish really rapidly, and having like a weekly meeting is always a good way to do that, because you have to what do we accomplish before next week? We're doing this. Like combat will be in by next week.
So what's your next? Greg's gonna start working on some prototyping for combat, right?
Yeah, combat's next. So Maximus, is it open world linear progression? It's going to be linear, but there'll be like a linear main story, but lots of side things to do, lots of mysteries along the way, lots to explore. So if you're moving along and you hit a wall for some reason, something's too hard, a fight's too hard, or you want to play as a different character because maybe you really want to play as Naomi for a while. You jump to Naomi and do some side content.
Yeah. One of the things we're thinking about it too is that we want this game to be almost like a destination, to have lots of side quests and stuff that you can do. Eventually, we start building this universe as something bigger than the main story. Something that we're very interested in. And if people enjoy it, we'll start building the structure of the game like that. For example, we love one of the first stretch goals we have is to add the collection mechanic, right? To have treasure hunts and stuff like that. Things that you can do when you're not doing the main quest, and exploring the world, and even like eventually having things to build or stuff like that.
Yeah, I like the idea of a world that's a bit more dynamic. Like I think the mark of kind of older games is when you sort of you go into a map for the second time and everything's in exactly the same space. Everything spawns exactly the same. All the enemies are the same. So giving you guys reasons to revisit areas, like maybe this particular area once in a while is a random chance a certain enemy spawns, or maybe a certain event in the game makes something else happen somewhere else in the game. So maybe this composition of enemies is different this time because the enemies have wandered off, or maybe there's a patrol in this particular map. So making it a bit more dynamic. So even if not necessarily like dedicated side content, kind of making the world, because the one thing too about quests is that quests are very like you go do this, you go do that, and having mysteries of like, well, hang on a second, I wasn't told to do anything with this. I don't actually know what this thing does. I'm going to go explore it and figure out what it is also a lot of fun. Or wandering through the same forest the third time and seeing a random spawn is kind of cool. Like I was playing Hogwarts Legacy the other day, and I was just like doing some random quest near the lake, and the tentacle monster popped out, and I was like, "Oh, did I just find an Easter egg?" And I kind of flew over to it, and it wasn't anything, but it was kind of cool. So,
Zelda is really good for that too. Like we always speak about Zelda and how it kind of suits the moods of the players in different days.
Yeah.
The other games do that too, but Zelda is massive for that. It's just one day I just want to kill monsters, the other day I want to cook, the other day I just want to explore and stuff like that. So,
or like if you have an 11-year-old who loves Tears of the Kingdom, I get to do all the manual quests when he's asleep. Like upkeep his weapons and gather food and hunt.
So you're like the Zelda secretary of your son.
I'm kind of I'm the Zelda slave, but I enjoy playing. It's fun. I just we know the game will be available on multiple platforms. Crossplay being looked at. Mobile platforms is a goal. We want to get there eventually. So if you get there, crossplay, I don't see why not.
Yeah, crossplay is in everybody's mouths right now, but it is not an easy task to accomplish. So it all depends, honestly, like 100% honestly, on how much budget we get from our funding sources, right? We do have the Kickstarter, but we're looking for other sources too to do as much as our dreams allow. Games are expensive, and we want to. One of the things that we want to do is to make them cheaper to make. As many of our dev friends that are here can attest, so many times we had the impression that we could do the same task, that instead of having 100 people, we could have 20 and do it as well, or maybe better with less red tape. So we want to be able to do the most with the smallest team, with the right people that we think we have. So but to get to all these the stretch goals, we need to is unavoidable to have some kind of budget. We're not talking about millions of dollars, but we're talking about enough to add all the different modes that we want to do, the cross-platform, all of that stuff, because we all love the same things that the players love, right? It's not very different.
XNMFJX13 is asking, so I grabbed the wanted poster Kickstarter. Is that something that's going to be an eventual reward for capturing? We were talking about a bounty hunter, a guild of bounty hunters, which would be a lot of fun. It's a scope thing, but it'd be kind of cool if we could have sort of, part of it is like a checklist of enemies that show up that are actually on the wanted poster that you have to take down. That would be a really cool side quest to do, and there's a lot of fun. Killing random bad guys is always good. Is fast travel by foot, or is there some kind of mount fast travel? Choice mask, nice, good reference. You saw the platypus mount, I think, in the gameplay video. So we're definitely going to have I think some mounts to fast travel. In terms of can you ride them from point A to point B, we'll see. That would be pretty wild. If the purpose of the mount is just if the player's intent is just to get to a zone as fast as possible, then fast travel is kind of a desirable thing. But maybe we'll have like a really cool scene, like in Hollow Knight, when you take the I'm not sure what they're called, the beetles underground that are kind of the trains. There's like a cutscene of that thing, which would be kind of cool, custom cutscene. But mounts would be something we talked about.
Because mount only makes sense if there's something to see on the way,
or if it's large enough. Yeah, go ahead.
What's that?
Oh, see, or like a large enough space to traverse, right? Like how big are the zones actually going to be?
Red Dead Redemption, for example, like it was awesome to take your horse and just go around the world, because there's stuff to see and do, right? Yeah. And you could find things. But if you're just trying to get to a place, it can get pretty boring and intensive to create. So it depends. I guess it depends. Sometimes a nice place cut in the action is the best solution. We want to play with different cinematic cameras and how we're gonna introduce new landmarks and stuff like that. So sometimes you just have to do like a cinematic cut, and instead of you have to walk for hours. This is not the kind of game that we want to do. We don't want to make like an open world game or anything like that, and we probably wouldn't be able to, because of a small team.
Well, it's also like it's also 3 different characters using their abilities to solve problems. If it's open world, that becomes infinitely more difficult. 2.5 engineer size things. What's that?
Yeah, we're creating a world that has 3 layers in it. That's basically what it is, right? It's a layer cake.
Yeah, exactly.
That you explore here, we explore here, and we explore here. So we're creating everything 3 times in different states. So yeah, we want to focus on the most like pure and focused experience, instead of having like tons of space that don't have anything to it.
Honestly, I was asking if there's any stuff for us to collect out there. Definitely. I mean, in terms of just stuff you can use for crafting and for resources, and the tools you're going to need, the upgrades you're going to need. I mean, we have a future Earths of rich with these past relics. So there's going to be, like I said, the scriptorium, for example, the books you can collect. Maybe there's somebody out there who collects little basketball jerseys. If you find a basketball jersey, you can give it to them. So there will definitely be a collection mechanic in this game.
And across time too. I want people to start thinking in 4D. You know what I mean? how I can collect this here, or maybe you collect something
Mhm.
and then suddenly that thing got destroyed by an enemy, and you start thinking in 4D, and you go, okay, maybe I can get back in time through Nova and get that thing again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of just thinking in 3D.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Also, like, part of the philosophy of the combat design too is that each character will have their own abilities. Like we are saying, Naomi being an engineer will have a remote bomb she can detonate, or a turret, or she can enhance her exosuit. Nova is going to have a really cool drone that she has on a wire that she can actually use to like grapple things from a distance or pull herself toward things. So the philosophy there is that all the abilities you're going to use in combat will have some sort of like navigation exploration component as well. So the levels will be designed in such a way that you're going to probably need these to sort of traverse through the areas. So in that sense, having a mount that can charge through could be a bit tricky. But again, we'll see. One of the next steps is, again, designing combat and designing one of the first zones to go through to see how it actually feels. Good question from Maximus, Gabe. This is for you. The idea is this isn't a game, but a universe, right? Beyond the initial Kickstarter, expansions or sequels is certainly on the table, I assume.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was just thinking about that the other day. I do love creating universes. I do love creating story that can be, and I think my medium of choice became video games after working for so long in the industry that I almost don't want to think of this as a game, but it is a game because there is mechanics that make you solve problems, right? And you need some measure of skill and brains to solve problems. But at the same time, I think of this game as a place, as something that you can go to see something unfold and be part of it. Uh, in a way, I'm trying to get less attached, and I know Greg has his own ideas too, and we're gonna combine those two, and like, how can you be there and be happy and go there and not necessarily be pushed into progressing like linearly through something just because we are called a video game. In some ways, you go there to see a story too, and to see your character develop, and to see cool things, and to discover new things. So I'm trying to figure it out. What is that called? It is a game, but is also a medium that can expand between games. So I'm already I've written a little bit of the second season already of Kinshft. So in that sense, it is almost like a TV show, like a Disney Plus. 6 chapters, and then there's something that happens, but everything needs to be self-contained at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the idea is to create a universe that you can play through. Does that answer your question? I think I rambled a bit, but it's just because it's in my head. I'm still thinking about that concept. It almost like doesn't matter what it's called, as long as people want to be there, want to come back to that world and see new things every time.
Yeah. Currency, maybe. Yeah, definitely. I think that's fun. Just finding something that's really valuable to somebody. So you find, I don't know what's really old. Find 3.25, 3.5 inch floppy disks, and someone loves 3.5, and that just becomes one of the things that you can. I don't know, but yes, definitely.
Floppy disks. Remember floppy disks?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Nova can craft a gun that shoots floppy disks. I don't know.
They're floppy. It has to be hard disks. they'll hurt more. Yeah, and one of the good things about doing this, I think, is that we'll be talking to you guys, and for example, that there's still in our heads a question of how much combat versus how much puzzle in this world is the ideal mixture, and the people playing will answer that, and if we have you guys talking to us and being in the process very early, we're not going to get to a place that we're going to make the wrong decision for those things. Most people want to see a little bit more combat, or they want to see a little more of that, and then we can tailor the experience to something that people will enjoy, especially the people that are backing us from the beginning.
Yeah, it's a funny balance because there's games I play and there's like sometimes you just kind of want to finish the quest, and then some enemy gets in your way. You're like, this is a huge pain in the ass. Why is this here? But sometimes you kind of want that. So we'll figure out what the balance of that is. And like I said, there's mechanics there you can use to, like, if Nova has a stealth mechanic, maybe you can like run around battles or so on, or we have a fast travel thing. So I think we'll find the balance eventually.
I think it's looking pretty good. I like it.
Finally made the wrong decision, probably. Yeah. Like inviting you to this chat. Oh. How's Ontario, by the way? You liking it there?
Oh yeah, Alberto's living in Ontario now.
He's in Ontario. It's like,
so we hate him, right? Because we're from the West Coast.
I know. And I can talk. You can just type, so it's even better.
Oh yeah, Alberto can talk. Wow.
No, I know.
He must be talking everything he types, and then yeah,
he's saying it out loud and then
his
typing.
partner must be like, "Oh, why are you saying everything you're typing?"
I do that. I type and I talk. I don't know why I do that. Trying to see if there's anything else in the design to talk about. It's kind of fun.
Talk about how we're gonna be able to change the characters.
Oh, we love you though. Change the characters in what way?
Like the progression of the characters.
The
family tree.
The family tree, yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah. So I like that you guys saw on the Kickstarter page. We have like a quick mock-up of a family tree, which is basically our skill tree. Because normally you have one character that has a multiple skill tree that you branch in different ways. We have 3, and we definitely want to have skills in the game because I personally love games where I can customize what my characters can do. Give me an assassin, that's awesome, but I want to have an assassin that can take one way or the other. An assassin that can like dash in, do high damage, and dash out, kind of like do some poke gameplay and jump out. But also sometimes like old school Batman Arkham Asylum, where you can kind of roll in and just dodge and weave and move around. So the idea is each character, as you play the game, your family will get skill points. It's up to you how to allocate them. So it's not like Naomi will always get a skill point. You get 1 point to spend on one family member. So who do you give it to? Skill points not the word we're going to use, but you guys know what skill points are, so we'll keep it simple. So the idea is each character will have a kind of a branching path. So like I said, Nova being an assassin can go for like a high damage poke combat or a very stealthy surprise attack dodge combat. Naomi, who's a warrior, if you like playing just big tanky warriors who can take on a bunch of mobs at the same time, you can take that part of the tree, or you can kind of go down the other path, which is really more about the gadgets. And so her bombs and her turrets and her suit can fight alongside her, and she can build small bots that can fight with her. So it's more of a gadget kind of thing, old school engineering. And Niles is kind of the same way. Somebody who's, if you're more of like, I like to do range combat, I love playing a sorceress in Diablo, so I just want to do big attacks. You can do that. But you also have the idea to go along more like the force powers thing. So you can put up barriers that enemies can't pass. Now they have to kind of path around or teleport from one spot to another. So as you play the game and get these points, you have to decide, 1, which character do I want to spend it on first based on whatever the next challenge might be. Or 2, how do I want that character to progress along the way? And if you see in between those two, each of the characters, there's actually an ability that can affect both. So the idea, we haven't proved it out yet, but we want to kind of do this, is there's an ability, because for example, Naomi and Nova share a strength component. They're both very strong characters. One's a deadly assassin. One's a strong warrior. So there's a strength component to them. And so maybe if you put a point into that sort of shared ability, whenever Nova is there as a ghost, Naomi has a benefit and vice versa. So just playing around with like the idea of a family dynamic. The characters are together. How do those things progress? And how can we in some way narratively tie that to the actual journey of the family that they're taking?
Yeah, we also want to add like not only physical things, but psychological things, right? Being a family, it's about helping each other and evolving together. So you have things that the characters have For example, the example I always use is Nova. She has very crippling anxiety, right? So that kind of reflects on the way she acts. Sometimes she's in combat, she might get a panic attack, which is kind of our way to say she needs a cool down. So you can use Naomi to prop Nova as a mother, and help her get through it. How you might say, because it's separated by 900 years of history, like the way moms do, helping your daughter to be a bit more self-reliant. So putting those points or whatever into something that will help her be better at combat, and all the stuff like that. So we want the story to be meaningful in that way. That everybody has their problems, and they have problems between them too. That's how they start the story. The family is very afraid. They're living in the spaceship for years, so they're fighting, and there's a lot of things that were unsaid. So as they evolve through the story, it's not only about giving them strength, speed. It's about them. You cannot succeed if you don't help them develop as a family. The dad, the mom, and Nova being connected through this family tree. There's branches that you cannot make that branch grow together. You have to connect with another one of the characters, and make the branch kind of interlace and help them together. So that's a novel thing that we want to do, and I think it would be pretty cool for the story too, as you develop the quests, and you're gonna see your characters develop through the story too and become better as a unit, because that's what family is about, right? You cannot just try to become the best you can and leave everybody behind, because it's not going to work, right? So you need to work together.
Is the Kinshft a static entity, or is there things in the game that affect that connection? There are definitely things in a game that affect the connection. So the city is kind of the hub, where the connection is very strong. I guess Gabe uses a reference of like a cell phone tower. It's very strong there. The minute Nova ventures out into like the Badlands or the Forbidden Forest, that connection can break, and now suddenly she can switch between characters. And there's things you can do to then reestablish that connection along the way. So in some ways, you're almost like setting up like little beacons along the way to enable the kinship in different locations to have access to new gameplay or access to characters. And the same way, there could be parts of the story, potentially even tied to what Gabe's saying about the emotional state of the characters, or the world itself, where the kinship breaks down and suddenly you can switch between characters in an area. So a place where you had access before, you don't have access anymore. So that could be a really cool thing to play around with as well.
Yeah. The whole idea with beacons is it's not literally a beacon. It's not It's not like it's literally some kind of force that you can boost the signal. It's more about leaving things behind, that objects or whatever, that who have a connection to the other person that you want to connect. So it's a bit more emotional and metaphysical than literally putting a machine or something like that. So, but yeah, the idea is what Greg said, is trying to use the Kinshft and get better at it. And of course there's a secret behind the Kinshft that we're not going to reveal, but that's part of the main story. There's something going on, and there's something to do with the tree that's been growing, and there's a lot of different things. And I don't know if you've seen in the page, there's a fourth member of the family that we don't know what happened to him. Is Newton, is the youngest. So there's also part of the story to try and find what happened to him.
Cool. Yeah, sorry. When I talk game design, I'll sometimes like just use dry game designer terms. So yeah, I didn't mean beacon, but thank you. I'll watch for that in the future.
It is a beacon, right? Yeah, like I'm talking about cell phone towers. It's just
so it's
people
not like you're
don't
physically
imagine that
planting.
we actually
like
putting a tower in the thing.
Yeah, this isn't like Doctor Who and a cell phone. Yeah. Since Niles is the furthest from Nova, what are some ways you use to bring them closer together?
Oh, Niles, Niles and Nova are like two peas in a pod. They're further away in time, but they're very connected. So there will be some things that you need to do to be able to connect them. we're still thinking about specifics, but yeah, he'll have to learn that he can do what he can do, because he's potentially the most powerful of the Kinshft, but he has a longer journey. The place where he is basically alien. It's 10,000 years in the future, so nothing seems like the life he led before. But at the same time, because he's a very out of the box kind of guy, he started realizing that his imagination is something that he can harness in this future and use his science thinking, but very much out of the box to try and find different solutions that feel like weird and out there, but it will make sense in this world. So yeah, eventually they'll be able to connect, or maybe through mom. Mom is also a good connection, right?
Mhm.
I always try to draw from my own personal life, and how, like, sometimes as a dad I have much harder time like expressing my feelings, and I have a daughter, right? And she appreciates when I'm more open to her and I talk to her, and I had to learn that through my wife, and she's much better at doing that. And she, and through my daughter too, she helps me be a better, more open person. So sometimes you need that indirect connection, to make one person understand the other and be connected to the other. And I think it's something that everybody can relate, having families, and being away from families, and still trying to connect like we do. Eric was in Brazil, but every time we meet, it's like we never stop seeing each other. We just, pick up right where we left off, go have some beers and have the joke around. And so Kinshft is about that. It's about nothing can separate you from people that you care about, even time. So. Are you crying, Erico? Don't cry.
Hold back the tears.
We'll see each other soon. Don't worry. At the launch party of the game.
Yes, in 1 year.
Yes. This is fun. I like doing that.
This is kind
You
of
guys
fun.
do it again.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the questions. That's fun because
Cool.
Yeah, it makes us think about things, right?
yeah, it's looking cool.
Where's Andy? Andy's supposed to come up.
It's supposed to be. It's probably out felling a tree or.
Oh yeah, Andy is our like 3D guy, and he lives on an island, so he has to take the ferry, go back home, and then he has to go up the mountain because he lives in the top of the mountain. Is Gene still here? Gene knows.
No, Gene had to leave.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he's also a lumberjack. It's his part-time thing. He has a chainsaw and a truck, and because it's like a rainforest, these massive trees. He just takes all these trees that have fallen down and brings them back and cuts them down, and he's in the process of making furniture out of them, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, if you want to get some furniture made, go talk to Andy.
Yeah,
He's really good. He makes those live edgy, like big tables.
Yeah. I think he wants to start a YouTube channel too. He's gonna have like a 20-minute video on him milling one piece of wood. I'm like, I can't wait to watch that. It's gonna be hypnotic.
Did you guys get anything about our secret meeting tomorrow? No, it's too secret, right?
It's too secret. Yeah.
Okay.
9 a.m. Jeez. We have a meeting with somebody that is interested in Kinshft, and maybe will help us make this thing a reality. So fingers crossed.
Yeah.
We'll have more people investing on this, and then we can make some cool stuff. Make the arena mode. Make all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah. Well, just the world bigger and more consoles. Like I want it on Switch. That's what I want to play on.
Yeah, but I know, like, maybe Nintendo's gonna release something else before the game's out. So maybe the Switch 2 or whatever we keep talking Switch, but maybe they'll have something better. I don't think they'll do a Switch 2, right? Nintendo never does like something 2. They always do something completely different.
They will do VR with AI.
Yeah, no, they're probably gonna do something that you have to play with your feet or something like that. Like, and we all gonna love it. We'll think it's weird at first, but we all gonna.
Mhm.
Except that one that is made with cardboard. That one, I don't think it did. A lot of people like that one. What's the name of that one? That one they have to build things with cardboard and play with it. The Nintendo did. Labo.
Oh,
Labo.
Labo. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. They
I
also
don't
made
know.
a Mario one that you can play with AR in your room, like a Mario Kart one.
That's kind of cool.
Nintendo's awesome.
Oh, what is arena mode?
Oh, sorry. Did I say too much?
Well, I mean, it's on the Kickstarter page.
Okay.
It's not like
Arena mode is like if you like I said, like if you one of those days that you just want to kill people. It's an arena that you can test your abilities against enemies of 3 different eras. So yeah, there's not much about it, but yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah.
Today I don't want to go through quests. I just want to go and kill people.
Yeah.
So.
It'd be cool to have an arena too, where like we said before, like the abilities you have in combat are also traversal abilities. So an arena that can change that, Nova has to use her grapple ability to get across a gap to reach some enemies and so on, and something focusing to something an arena that tests different abilities for different characters would be a lot of fun. So we were playing around with the idea of a multi-dimensional arena, where all 3 you can switch between characters and fight. That's a stretch goal. We'll have to talk about that one because that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, it costs money though. So
well, I didn't say we're doing it. I just said it's a cool idea, and cool ideas are awesome, and they're on the list. Just
yeah,
can we get there?
It's on the list. What else we have on the list that could be cool? Do you remember the stretch goals?
Stretch goals? Oh yeah, I got already. Let me see right here. Switch. We got world expansion, local co-op. That'd be a fun one to do, actually. Local co-op would be kind of cool. It probably wouldn't be because the logistics of trying to play 2 characters, two of the actual main characters together would be really difficult to do. That said, a lot of games let you play cooperatively with like the main character, but then with like a cool side character who's also really cool, but not necessarily one of the main characters. So what's a good example that I can think of? Okay, the only example I can think of is Leia's Kirby game because my son loves it and plays. So he plays as Kirby, who has all these cool abilities, and I play as a sidekick who's still kind of awesome. And that would be a really cool reason for you to actually go around and befriend certain people. Like, maybe you could play as this succubus. Not succubus character. Sorry.
Yeah, I think another game that does that well is Bowser's Fury.
Bowser's Fury.
You didn't play it. One person plays as Mario, the other one plays as this little floating guy that can do all the things that Mario can't. So it's not like you're playing as 2 Marios or Mario and Luigi. You just have a different experience.
Yeah.
So one of the things we want to do is companions, right? So we're still figuring out what does that mean. Like when you have a companion, what do they do for you? And potentially, can you have a companion across time? Can you have somebody that helps you in a different time? So we always have to put that lens on it.
Yeah.
The time. So yeah, there's even one of the top rewards is making a companion that's inspired by you.
Yes, which would be pretty cool to have a companion that everyone loves.
So should I give her like a tail? It's too much.
Mario Odyssey, kind of. Mario Odyssey kind of like splits Mario's ability between 2 players. This is more like giving the second player a really cool character that can also like do all the things that the main character can. Maybe not the abilities, but supplements things. Like maybe you play as Naomi's a character for Naomi, and it's some crazy dog that can run around and just drop bombs everywhere. And so you're kind of playing as that for fun. So you're kind of just making it more fun for both players, as opposed to like I wouldn't want to like remove one player's abilities and then give them to the second player, because I don't know, it works in Odyssey, but I don't know. I like if the abilities are something you want to use in combat, removing that tool set from the player can be kind of detrimental. Like I don't want to, not be able to do something cool with Nova that I usually can. So cool. Thanks for joining us, Dable.
What else? How long we been? Like an hour and 40 minutes?
Hour and 40.
Yeah.
It's kind of flying by.
Should we end or should we continue?
We
Anybody?
have 18 persons still.
Oh yeah. So ask question, guys.
Yeah.
What you guys want to know?
Yeah.
Anything. Who's better at tennis, me or Erico?
It's Greg, actually.
No.
Probably Greg.
We'll play at some point, Gabe. When your arm heals, we can.
I want to see a tennis match between Gabe and Greg. I think Greg should be this very professional guy.
No, I'm really not. But we could live stream that one. What if Wednesday? We'll play tennis.
All pro guys. Actually.
How do you live stream? Like you just put a camera on each other's heads.
Yeah, you can switch back and forth between different cameras. Like Gabe cam, Greg cam.
Should I give the Succubine a tail or not?
Yes.
First, let me save, because all this time I haven't saved. Don't do that, kids.
Yeah. Wow, that's
I do that all the time.
I just think that we say yes to tail, but that's just me.
And a tail. Squirrel.
Well, when you play the alpha? Oh wow.
Hard question.
Good question.
What was the question?
When Callie's asking when she can play the alpha.
When she can play the alpha?
Yeah.
For us, did you pledge to be an alpha dog? If you pledge to be an alpha dog, you play the alpha as soon as it comes out. Or maybe the day before.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be cool to if you guys are in that and you're interested in what we're doing, it would be really cool just to actually give you the software to play too. That would be, I think, really great, with the understanding that it's alpha, so it's going to be like Kerbal Space Program 2 broken. So be patient. But
you're gonna fall through the world a lot.
Which can be fun though, right?
Yeah. No, yeah, we want to put something in people's hands as soon as possible, like even sooner than usually people do it, just to, as long as people understand what they're getting, So
and if they want to play it,
and if they want to try to play something that is utterly broken, but it's fun. Our condition is this: as soon as we think it's fun, we'll have a candidate for an alpha, and then we'll send it to people so they tell us if it's fun. If there's an idea there that is good, then it works, and whatever else they want to say. But then they have to understand that we're not giving them like a 4-year-old build that that people have been working for years, that like sometimes people do. They call it alpha, but it's like really polished already, just because they don't want to look bad. We want to kind of do the opposite. You guys need to understand that we will look bad until it looks great, and that's part of what makes making video games really interesting. If there's no other things like the medias that can be done like that, I cannot start filming a movie and then give you like the dailies, you know what I mean? Because people go like, what is this? It looks terrible. What is the effects? Whatever, but in games it's kind of cool because you have the experience. So we want to be able to do that. But if people start complaining, oh my God, this looks broken, then we're not going to do it, because
well, and I know like every project I've ever worked on, like you'll play the game, it's regardless of like was it a big studio or a small studio, like you play the game. It's like it sucks, and then some point is like a magic build. I don't know what the formula is, where just the right things get fixed and suddenly the game is good.
Yeah.
So it might be like a few builds of like really guys, but also that's really good too, because you can give that kind of feedback. And it's like, are you intending to fix this? It's like, we're intending to. It's just we'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
Gabe, can you tell us anything else about the races and factions from each age? Anything else you want to? Any one faction or race you want to chat about?
Sure. Let me remember. Well, maybe not. Maybe, there's a couple. Let me say, there's a couple. I talked about them in other interviews. In the primordial age, there is the people that are building their civilization on top of our civilization, and they love pop culture, and they think is the best. Is like there's the secret of life is collecting all the stuff. So there's a guy called Carlos the Wise. He's like the warlord of this part of the city, and he is amassing a big army of people that are like utterly stupid, but they're really dangerous. There's the in this time there's also the mid widows, right? The mid widows are they almost like midwives for death instead of birth. Midwives help you be born in the best way possible. Mid widows help you die. So they are this benevolent women that in the primordial age they're very they're very benevolent and helpful to everybody, but then slowly but surely they start becoming very corrupt, like a lot of institutions that we have. Start with a good heart, and then they become corrupt. So they become corrupt and they start dictating when people should die. They have their own like arcane like records of everybody, and they say this person should die today because that's what it says here. And then instead of just helping you die when it's your time, they will actually kill you, and kill you in a ritualistic way. So you see them evolving from the primordial age to the dystopian age, becoming this really bad kind of enemy. We do have, let me remember, the Hostia, which you kind of seen in the gameplay video in the Kickstarter. Those little floating guys, they are floating coffins. Let me just pull it here because I'll probably butcher my own descriptions. Drive characters. I keep adding more and more every day. That's why I don't remember. So let's see what's interesting. Oh, we talked about the meta dog. I posted like a little sketch of the meta dog. They are a hive pack of empathic dogs created by a rogue science experiment. And they became feral and multiplied, passing their ability to their puppies for generations. And the very presence of one of those mutated canines can overwhelm a person's brain with the simultaneous love of 1,000 dogs. So they're like a hive pack. So they share all the love of all the dogs at the same time, and they can project into you, and you die of like extreme oxytocin overload. They're cute, but they're deadly. I do have some characters that are not factions. Oh, the mycelium is a big one. The mycelium is going to be present in all three eras. They're a collective consciousness made of a network of fungi that became self-aware when arrows struck the earth. They're basically a big civilization of fungi, but they only come to their power later on. Of course, there's the cap crits. The cap crits are, I'm not gonna say they're inspired by Pokemon because they're not, but they're like kind of evil Pokemon in a way. So imagine in real life if Pokemon existed, people would genetically engineer little cutesy creatures that come in little capsules, and you can open and play with them and then put them back in, which is very, very evil. But people do that, and then time passes, hundreds of years pass, and then people forgot about them, and you can walk through the world and find them, and it's always a roll of the dice if they're gonna attack you viciously or they're gonna become your partner and your pet. They can be really helpful in battles. There's others that I'm just gonna say the name. I'm gonna not reveal too much, but there's the Voxelmancers. You can imagine what they are by the name. The Hostia are little floating robots that have like this. They look like almost like a abyssal fish. They have like a saw in the front, but what they actually are they encase the ashes of the Kairos the Wise's fallen army. So it's a floating coffin. It's a hovering reliquary, reminding us that there's no escape even in death. So there's different things. Succubines, that you've seen it. There's a bunch. I'm not gonna review a lot. There's big monsters like Turbo Dragor, which is the god of monster trucks. He's a character that I'm planning to have in all three eras. Some characters live forever, so they will appear in different shapes to different characters. Turbo Dragor, for example, is the idea of like monster truck shows will become more and more popular, and until they become some kind of cult or religion, and they create this robot to be their god, which is called Turbo Dragor. He was made of like pieces of different cars and machines, and then he became sentient and started demanding being treated as a god and expecting flesh sacrifices every Friday and Sunday and twice on Saturday. Sunday
is like that.
Yeah,
as well.
exactly. So and then maybe in the future you walking through the marsh or something and you find Turbo Dragor dormant, and maybe if Turbo Dragor has been well treated by Nova in the past or by Naomi, when you meet him as Niles, he'll be more friendly. He maybe can help you instead of attacking you. So there's a lot of different things like that. What else? Yeah, there's a bunch. There's the Fossil Knight is one that I posted online the other day.
See Alberto.
Was that?
This is just say bye to Alberto.
Oh, Alberto.
Yeah. It's always
it's very late to him. And yeah, there's a bunch. I keep adding more to this spreadsheet and adding different, like, it's a matrix of like where are those people now in the future? Where are they in the past? Do they exist? Can you interact with them and make them become something else in the future? So this is being really, really fun to do. Cool. Did that answer your question? I probably can't review too much, but
you revealed quite a lot. Actually, I thought you only had one or two. That was a laundry list. It was good. Connors is asking about sound design.
Oh yeah, we need to get to there.
Yeah, there's no work on it currently. Sound's very important, especially in a combat game. So
yeah, we are right now. I've been using just temp tracks because we're not at that point. But yeah, sound is very important, and in several games in the past, I wish I had more budget and more time to work audio into the games, because it does make a lot of difference. There's two things: audio and effects. That's something that a lot of studios leave it as an afterthought sometimes, and it could be much better. Of course, big studios have their own audio department, but a lot of studios don't think too much about it. They spend too much or a lot of time in the art and design, but they forget about stuff like effects and audio. So
yeah,
hopefully,
especially if you're going PC and Switch, hopefully Switch eventually. So audio is really important. Less so on cell phones, because not everyone plays the audio, but it's still incredibly important for those who do play.
Right. So. Yeah. You know, on phones, I really like games that use vibration as part of the experience.
Yeah.
And more games are actually doing haptics as part of the experience, and it is really it makes a huge difference. And I was playing Marvel Snap, and they use it masterfully. You know,
Yeah.
when things happen, when you lay the card, then there's like a vibration and stuff like that. So yeah, something I always want to.
Mhm.
Okay. Now we're just massaging this. I think it looks good already, so
It's pretty awesome.
I'm just gonna put some, and then do. I don't know how to draw a dream catcher. Let's see. It's just a spider thing, right, in the middle,
Like an actual dream catcher?
like this. Yeah, something like this.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Do you have a score person yet? No, not yet. But
A score person.
yeah, you're pretty big into music, right? That's probably going to be a you thing.
Me, like the
Yeah.
music.
Well,
Yeah, I'm big into score. I do know some people from past projects. Some, you know, like I don't know if I can pay them, but like people like Rich that did the score for Realm of Champions and Contest of Champions. You know, people that I worked in the past, but we'll see. I don't even know like what is the vibe. But yeah, we need somebody eventually. There was a lot of ideas that we wanted to do for Realm of Champions. Like I remember, I don't know if Kelly's still here, but going to meetings with the score guy and saying, "Hey, we want to do like a different style of music for each one of the houses," and everybody look at me like, "This is expensive." Imagine now, you know, that we have no money.
yeah, blow the whole budget on a soundtrack.
Yeah, I do have like, you know, I signed up for a couple of services just to get like if I need something really quick. But yeah, eventually we'll need to get like real music.
Yeah, there was a time that like everyone in games was a DJ, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Just yeah.
Yeah, I do remember EA every Friday there was a different person,
Just
like
a different DJ, just some
Yeah.
programmer just like whipped out his like records and started spinning. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay, I'm done with this.
Cool.
Signed. What do you guys think? Good?
That's awesome.
Tell in the
It's perfect.
Tell in the comments. And what people say? Smash the like button or whatever.
And subscribe and the bell icon for notifications.
No, don't worry about subscribing. Maybe you should subscribe just because you know about the next versions. The next week what we're gonna do, etc., and so
we'll post too on the Kinshft chat and Kinshft and wherever else. But yeah.
Cool. No, like really, it's 2 hours and we could be here for hours. So, but I don't want to take everybody's time. But I really love that you guys showed up. Let's keep doing it, and we really truly invite your feedback and whatever you guys want to say and talk about it. It does help us a lot. We are a tiny little studio, and we're very accessible. And you know, let's make something really cool together. And whatever you guys, you know, the ideas that you tell us and the feedback, good or bad, we'll end up in the game in some way. So I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna feel proud, you know, when it comes out and it's like, yeah, I remember talking about this, you know, a long time ago, and now it's in there and it's awesome. So thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks everyone for showing up and for helping us out. That's been fantastic. It's been fun to work with you guys too. This is cool. I want to do it again.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
Thank you, guys. Next time I prepare some spreadsheet to present.
Yeah, he's gonna show some really cool
Open the
numbers.
spreadsheets. 30 minutes.
The good ones.
All right. Good
Cool.
night, everybody. I'll see you next time.
All.
Hey, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.